Now one clinic offers it in Columbia. Imagine a new laser procedure that literally melts the fat away in a much less invasive way than traditional liposuction with literally no downtime. Only Dr. D. Carter and the Cosmetic Laser Studio offer this advanced procedure in our area. Call 1-800-NEW-LOOK and watch the fat melt away. Get Smart Lipo at 1-800-NEW-LOOK.
If you get hurt in an accident, even if it's not your fault, the expenses can add up fast. Ambulance trip, emergency room care, follow-up doctor visits, and the possibilities of future surgeries. It wasn't even your fault. Why should you have to pay for it? Truth is, you shouldn't. Call the Desassure Law Firm right now. They help injured people get the money they deserve for their injuries. The Desassure Law Firm. Call toll-free 1-866-994-0042.
Welcome back to Awareness. A recent article in the Yale Daily News attempted to tackle the complex topic of black hair. For most women, their hair and their hairdo are one of the most important things in life. Yes, men, it is that serious. The article talked about relaxed hair versus natural. And this morning, we have two professional stylists here with us to tackle that topic. So, ladies, this is Denise Williams from DW Headquarters that is here with us this morning, and Kim Diamond from KIMestry. Thank you, ladies, for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So the first question we have to talk about, because one of the things discussed in this article tried to explain what a relaxer was. So, you know, I want you all to go into what that is in the process of what it does to the hair.
Okay, a relaxer, there's several types of relaxers to begin with. I mean, the most common type of relaxer is sodium hydroxide base, which is considered to be a lye relaxer. And then you have your calcium hydroxide relaxer, which is considered to be no lye. And the process is, of course, it alters the bonds, the chemical makeup of the hair so that it is smooth in texture. Again, there are different types, but you have to know what goes for what, meaning what texture, what product needs to be applied to what texture of hair. That's why, you know, you leave it to the professionals. You know, we're educated, we go to school for 1,500 hours so that we can make that judgment as to what needs to go on the hair. So, you know, it's kind of what you prefer, but at the same time, you have to know what you're doing in order to be successful at it.
One of the things in this article, it talked about the pH level of relaxer. And this actually shocked me, and some folks may be shocked when they hear this, but it said that the pH levels are the same of a relaxer is the same as Drano. And let's talk about that, because I know that there's a big conversation now about going natural versus chemical, and we'll talk about that. Of course, Kim, I know you deal a lot with natural hair, but, you know, how does one, I guess, overcome that shock factor of knowing that you have the same pH?
Well, I think it goes back to education. You have to keep in mind that this is a chemical, which means it is formulated to alter the chemistry of the hair, to break down the bonds in the hair. So it does have a high pH level, but what you have to understand is there are other products that bring the hair back to the normal pH. So if you are educated, meaning that you are a professional, you would know what products to use in order to restore that hair back to the normal pH. It has to have a high pH level in order to break the hair down for the smoothing process. But when you go back and you neutralize and you properly condition the hair, it restores it back to that normal pH level.
Okay. And Kim, I know you deal a lot with natural hair. Why is it that, you know, there are women that are transitioning from relaxers, and women who have had relaxers for years, but are now transitioning to natural hair, meaning no chemicals? Why do you think they're doing that?
Well, first of all, I'm not against relaxers unless relaxers are against you. A lot of women are going natural due to medication. Medication tends to thin your hair out. A lot of women are going natural due to lifestyle change. One thing about being natural is the best of both worlds. You can wear it straight one day, you can wear it curly one day. A lot of women are just evolving into a different stage in life. With that being said, going natural, it can be difficult, but once you go through the transitioning stage, the end result is well worth it. But I'm not against relaxers unless relaxers are against you.
And by that,
I just want to say that.
Obviously talking about, you know, the texture of the person's hair and their situation, right? When you talk about going natural, you know, versus, you know, wearing weave or having a relaxer, and I'll ask this question to both of you, how much do you think media and culture plays into a woman's decision about her hair? How much do you think that influences it?
For me, as a professional, I think that it just depends on your lifestyle. It depends on who you are, what you represent, and what you desire. I mean, to each his own. If you're someone who is free-spirited, and you may want to live towards the natural hair, but if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time to spend on your hair, relax may be for you. But it also boils down to the condition of the hair, whether the hair can actually accept a relaxer. So at the end of the day, that's most important. What's going to allow your hair to be the healthiest?
Yeah. Kim, do you think that culture influences the decision?
Absolutely. I have a lot of professional clients, and their main concern is how can I be natural and maintain a professional look. With that being said, there are a lot of styles called protective styles, and you don't have to wear, you know, like I'm free-spirited. You don't have to wear the big hair like me, but this is who I am. I express myself through dressing and my hair. A lot of women want to have the natural hair, but they want to be able to, you know, go in the courtroom and be an attorney, maybe go in the surgical room and be a surgeon, but they still want to have that professional look. So there are a lot of natural styles that you can do that still look professional. You can even have a straight look and not have relaxer in it. So it's a lot you can do to make it look professional.
And we're going to address that. I have to take a quick break, but we want to talk a little bit about this stigma that apparently, you know, based on your answer, that people are concerned about the impression that they give, perhaps, if they're natural. So that's very interesting. We're going to address that when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
It's hard to believe it's been 20 years since we started All-American Heating and Air. So much has changed in our world since we were kids. But when we slow down enough, family's still what's most important to all of us. It's exciting and challenging working with family. Watching them grow with a company while raising families of their own is worth every minute.
We also enjoy working with your family. Thank you for trusting All-American Heating and Air. Call us and check us out online at allamericanheatingandair.com. Let our family help your family.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lyon, and I have a passion for helping my patients lose weight safely.
I decided to call Waist Lyons when I saw this picture of myself and I did not like what I had become. Dr. Lyons has taught me how to maintain a healthy weight.
I was overweight for years. I started working with Dr. Lyon over a year ago, and I kept off 75 pounds. I couldn't be happier.
Whether your weight loss needs are great or small, I will help you lose the weight and, most importantly, keep it off. Call Waist Lyons today, lose the weight, and gain so much more.
This is the information retailers don't want you to know, especially now. They don't want you to learn just how much money you've been giving away to retail markups on items you purchase for your home, all because you don't know how to buy like the insiders do at Direct Buy Club, the home improvement and furnishings club with direct insider prices.
When you go to Direct Buy, you know that things are going to be a lot less than retail, and you don't have to worry about sales. It's just, you know, one price, and it's a low price too.
I would shop around and investigate, and without a shadow of a doubt, Direct Buy would have the lowest price.
Members buy top quality name brand merchandise from hundreds and hundreds of trusted manufacturers. So call the number on your screen now and we'll rush you your free visitor's pass to your local Direct Buy Club and your certificate for a free 30-day membership. This is a limited offer, so call now.
We continue our conversation now about black hair, and now we want to tackle some questions that I'm sure many women have as it relates to their hair. We continue to welcome Denise Williams of DW Headquarters, and we also welcome Kim Diamond. She is with KIMestry. So ladies, we ended the last segment talking a little bit about the stigma that some folks have when it comes to straight versus natural hair. Why is it that that stigma exists? I'll ask either one of you that question.
I'll let Kim address that first, simply because she is the professional with natural.
I think the stigma exists because a lot of women feel like if you go on a job interview with your hair like mine in the natural state, even if you have all the credentials, they're going to look at you and pass you by. A lot of women feel like because society has put a stigma on straight hair that you're not going to be successful if you don't have straight hair. But I have a lot of professional clients from all walks of life, and they're wearing natural hair, and it's beautiful. You have to find out what works for you with natural hair.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there are some other things that I was talking to a colleague of mine, Rochelle Dean, and we were coming up with some questions and some things that I think women want to know as it relates to their hair. One thing, when you talk about relaxed hair or natural hair, either one, how do you maintain, the beautiful dew during the summer? What is it that you do, when, gosh, it's 100 degrees outside? How do you maintain the look?
As far as a relaxer is concerned, because it's very hot outside, you have to understand that the sun is penetrating your hair, as well as people that swim a lot. You have to have the proper maintenance products to do that. I think that even in the summertime with sweating when you're working out, sweating when you may be working out outside, maybe walking your neighborhood, or just in general with the heat index itself, it has a tendency to dry the hair out. So you want to make sure that you moisturize. You come in and you get those professional treatments, moisturizing treatments. If the hair is breaking, you think you can run in and get something right quick. Sometimes it's not, you know, it's not as good as if a professional administers that. Right. So because they know that prescription, what the hair needs, and especially for relaxed hair, it's already processed hair, and the sun is just going to further damage it.
And we don't want to run out of time. I know we have some pictures, Denise, that you actually gave us from someone that had relaxed hair, and it was severely damaged, and I think you were able to straighten the hair and help her.
Well, actually, yes, that particular picture, this young lady had relaxed hair, as you can see on the ends, where the ends are pretty straight, and the rest of it is natural. So she was pretty much trying to transition. However, because the two textures are fighting against each other, we did have to go ahead and trim. She conditioned that hair, we properly trimmed that hair, and that's the end result. Properly conditioned the hair.
Really, really quickly, like I said, we just have a couple more few seconds here. You know, what is the correct time when you talk about, again, talking about a relaxer, between like a relaxer and a color and that kind of thing? What is the time frame that one should allow?
All that is driven by the texture and the previous condition of the hair. Normally, a relaxer 6 to 8 weeks. Some people can go 8 to 12 weeks. It depends on your natural texture of your hair. Between process, you want to allow at least 2 to 4 weeks before you go from relaxer to a color. Just to go ahead and condition that hair properly and get it back in a normal, healthy state before you proceed to the next.
And Kim, we've got just a few seconds, and I know we have some pictures from you as well of a young lady here. What is the best way for folks to achieve healthy hair? About 10 seconds.
The best way is to see a licensed stylist. Come on a regular basis, every 2 weeks, every week, and don't think that you can do it at home yourself. Even natural hair needs to be maintained professionally.
All right, well, ladies, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Great information for our viewers out there. I'm sure answered quite a bit of questions. Everybody, stay with us. We'll be right back.
The estimated Powerball jackpot is now more than $60 million.
The passing of a loved one is one of the most difficult times in our lives. Fortunately, there are people who can make this transition easier. The Manigault Hurley Funeral Home takes pride in their thoughtful professional service. Anthony Manigault Hurley and his licensed staff are dedicated to the philosophy of care and thorough detail to meet your family's every need. Pre-need arrangements are available to fulfill your wishes and ease your family's grief. Manigault Hurley Funeral Home, serving families with compassion and dignity since 1923.
Get WISTV.com on your mobile phone and get real-time sports scores and the latest information on your favorite sports teams at 10 to Go. 10 to Go from WISTV.com. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Call Shepherd's Glass to repair or replace your car windshield fast. The only thing between you and the outside world is your windshield. Windshields protect you and your family. Let one of our glass experts repair or replace your windshield. Call Shepherd's Glass at 794-6639 and ask about our free mobile service to your home or office.
Heartstrings Hospice provides hospice services to terminally ill, end-of-life care patients. Our focus is to provide services to patients in their own homes. We're best known for our compassionate care that we provide to our patients. For more information, visit our website at www.heartstringshospice.com. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Follow the fun with new instant ticket games from the South Carolina Education Lottery, now available at your local lottery retailer.
For a list of things on the awareness calendar, visit our website, WISTV.com. At the top of the website, click on the Community tab. Then about halfway down the Community page, click the Awareness link. Well, if there is an issue you think needs more awareness in our community, we want to hear from you. Call, email, or write us with your show ideas, suggestions, and comments. The number 758-1162. You can email us at awareness@WISTV.com or send your information to the Awareness mailbag. The address is on your screen. Well, that's our time for now. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you learned something new. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you back here next Sunday for Awareness. Until then, be blessed.
There's some things that change your world for the good. The day we met Debbie, Dad's comfort keeper, was a true Independence Day for him. Finding someone who cares for Dad an amazing